Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase." This is the Producers Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Richard Tucci, and on this week's episode, we have Adanna Kenlow, actress and comedienne turned producer of stage, web content, and her first motion picture, which wrapped this past summer. A member of the improv comedy troupe Chameleon Comedy, she organizes and promotes several projects, as well as the nonprofit group Project Courageous. I sat down with Adanna, who is still dipping her toe into the producing waters, in order to give her what advice I could, since I've been doing this for almost a decade. Here now is my interview with Adanna Kenlow.
I'll take my shoes off. Yeah. I like your tiger skin carpet.
Thanks. Yeah, that is purely for noise reduction. I don't keep that up when I'm not recording. So.
Oh, it's a nice touch.
Yeah. What about yourself? What have you been up to, man?
Oh my gosh, it's exhausting whenever I talk about it. So I was talking to my mom this morning because with my improv group, it's folks that I went to college with, and they're kind of all over the place, life-wise. So I'm sensing that they're kind of less serious about the group now than when we started.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm like, okay, so we need to do this, that, and the other. But then, like, I have this other guy who's also very gung-ho, but every time I bring up, and he doesn't have any business training.
Gotcha.
But, so it's like, this is the guy that I'm telling you about with the TV show. So it's like every time I bring up a new idea, it's like, why do we need to do that? And I'm like, what do you mean?
This is the YouTube guy.
Yeah, but he's also in my improv group.
Just a heads up.
Yeah.
We are recording.
Oh, we are recording.
Yeah,
okay.
we are recording. So.
How did you do that?
I'm the Tooch. I'm magical. That's all you need to know.
I didn't see a button pushed or anything. Just walk in the room and the door opens and magically we're recording.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So, cheers.
Cheers.
So you're saying, guy with the show.
Yeah, and it's like, it's so hard because I'll go, okay, so we need to do, you know, like for example, like get professional flyers done, right? This was like the biggest thing, and I felt bad because we really got into an argument over this, and it's so stupid. And it was like, well, why do we need to do that? Why can't we just go to Kinko's and print out some? And it's like, because we're not soccer moms. You know? It's like, we need to look professional. And it's like, I don't know.
You're talking, of course, about like cardstock versus regular paper print.
Yeah, and like, you know, the nice graphics and the things versus like something that we printed up, you know, captured from Facebook of ourselves and like, you know, printed. So I don't know. And then it's okay. So this is the level of my frustration because I can't even talk now. But it's like we'll do things like, I don't know, just I'll say, for example, I just went on paperbagtickets.com and it's completely free. I was so amazed. Somebody referred me to it. And I just went on to check it out. And so I went on and they're like, they don't charge you for anything. They'll even send you like the paper tickets if you want to sell some at the door. No charge. They
just get like a cut of the tickets basically?
Yeah, they just charge the convenience fee and that's what they get.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's amazing. So like instead of like consulting the group, which I normally do, I just went on and did it because I knew that I would get, well, why do we need to do that? You know, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, but this is the next step. This is what we need to do for ourselves as a business.
Yeah.
And how come every time there's like a new business idea, it's like hitting a brick wall? I have to go through this brick wall. Yeah. And it's something so small that seems obvious to me that we would need to do to move to the next level. I don't even consider moving to the next level. It's just becoming like the professionals that we want to be.
Right.
You know?
You know what? It's weird because I'm even having this exact same argument with a bunch of other people on a project, and it's very committee based, you know? And so as a result, you have like 8 to 16 people, and every suggestion that gets put up has to be discussed. And you know, there's always going to be one person that says, well, why do we have to do that? Yeah. Well, what if we did this instead? And you know? And you forget that there are some people in the room who have experience in these fields, and not a lot of other people do, you know, and as a result, you know, the everything gets stalwarted. Nobody ever takes the initiative and says, okay, go.
Right.
And it just reminds me of like this story from, I heard on Dinner for Five, ironically enough, where like Mark Hamill kept asking George Lucas on Star Wars, hey, George, can I do this? And he's like, no. And George would just be, no, just do it. The only directions apparently he gave on set were louder and faster. And so at one point, Harrison Ford just leaned over to Mark Hamill and just said, look, don't ask him. Just do what you want to do. And then if he doesn't like it, you can not do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So...
It's easier to ask for forgiveness. Excuse me, the permission.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. So, what is this improv group, by the way?
We're called Chameleon Comedy. We've been going since like 2006. But during that time, we had another name, and it's been committee-based the whole time. So our name at that time was Improvalicious. Exactly.
Okay.
Wasn't my favorite. That was our name. So now we're Chameleon Comedy because we do sketches, we do stand-up, we do improv, and then now we have a home theater, luckily, in Long Beach. But we can also do parties and events and whatever. We perform for whoever will pay us and listen to us.
Nice.
So yeah, it's good. I mean, we've got a lot of talented people in the group. One of our guys, Jeremiah White, does comedy at the Ha Ha in North Hollywood, and one of our other guys, really funny guy. Actually, he works at the Griffith.
Wait, what's your home theater in Long Beach? You got to plug your home theater, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. It's called the Manazar Gamboa Community Theater. Manazar Gamboa.
Was he Mandela's vice president? Was that?
Not that I'm aware, no. Okay. He was a writer, Mexican guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and he...
That's not a Mexican name. I'm pretty sure that's not a Mexican name.
I don't know. That's the first time I've ever heard that name ever, so I have nothing to attribute it to. Yeah, exactly. We have a hard enough time telling people the theater right. They're like, it's called the... Okay, wait. Let me write this out so I can then pronounce it. Yeah, so... It's down there in Cambodia Town.
There's a Cambodia town in Long Beach.
Yeah.
There's a Cambodia town, period. Question mark.
Well, nobody knew about it because it was in Long Beach. People don't go down to Long Beach. So.
Apparently.
Yeah. All the Long Beachians kind of stay there, and then everybody else kind of avoids it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. And it's brand new. It's been there for like 2 years. And I grew up at that park. Like, I used to live right up the street. And then my sister started volunteering down there. And she was like, oh, yeah, this cool theater. They need like an improv teacher. And I was like, what theater? There's no theater down there. I don't know what you're talking about. Finally, I go. And yeah, it'd been there for like 2 years, but they hadn't put it to use. So now I teach an acting class / improv class to kids there on Wednesdays. And my group is performing there. And we're trying to do more things at that theater. It's oh my gosh, the potential there is off the charts.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, so much artistic energy down there.
And the theater is really supportive of like people doing stuff down there.
Yeah, there's open mics like every first and third Thursday, and the park itself has always had programs. Like they have b-boy dancing, they have this improvisational rock group, they have African dancing, they have spoken word, so much stuff. And so now there's actually a theater, like a venue where we can, invite people and put this stuff on. Most of the things that happen there are free. So if you're not doing anything, just, head down on a Thursday night and there's probably something going on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. And you're basically taking on as like lead business / producer person for this improv troupe.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't have that title, but it's basically what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there political drama and backlash and backstabbing and all the stuff that makes reality show gold?
There is a lot of, the only drama is that we show up at the theater and people go, how come the lights aren't focused yet? Well, because nobody showed up yet, So it's like, if you guys show up early, then we can get this stuff done early. That's about the only drama we have.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay,
luckily.
Cool. Where are you from originally?
Long Beach.
So you're born and bred in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I lived in Hollywood for like 2 years when I was going to school. Miss it. But,
Where'd you go to school at?
At AMDA.
Where's that?
It's on Yucca and Vine.
What is AMDA?
The American Musical and Dramatic Academy. They have a musical. I went for musical theater. Got my bachelor's from there. They have a dance program and an acting program. And then they also have conservatory or bachelor's.
So it's not a Scientology thing?
No. No. Right up the street, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
Franklin and...
When did you decide, I want to be an actress and go into show business?
That was kind of a process. So I'm a member of the Baha'i Faith. Have you heard of the Baha'i Faith?
Yeah. Well, the only person I've heard about it from is you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the last time we talked, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I thought so.
When I was trying to romantically interlude you. So
I was like, well, I'm a Baha'i. Have you heard of that? Wow. No, but it's, I guess for people who don't know what it is, it basically just focuses on unity, the unity of all of humanity.
Gotcha.
So the earth is but one country and mankind its citizens, for example. And as a Baha'i, I decided to go on a year of service. Well, more like my mom was like, you're going to go volunteer for a year. And I was like, I guess I'm volunteering for a year.
Okay.
And I was in this year, I decided I'm going to decide my path for the rest of my life. And it was either going into engineering or becoming an artist. And I knew I was good at writing.
How old are you at this point?
17.
Okay.
So
at 17, your mother shipped you off to a foreign country.
Well, to Santa Cruz, which felt like a foreign country.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So hippies and whatnot everywhere is a lot different than this. But it was either engineering or this. And I knew I loved to put things together and solve puzzles and build stuff, like model things with my hands. And then I also knew I was good at writing and I loved to perform. So over the course of this year, I realized that one main part of the Baha'i faith is service to humanity, because service to humanity is the same as service to God. So if I was going to serve humanity, then I needed to do something useful. And I decided that obviously I need to do something I liked, but something that there was a need for. And I was around engineers in the Baha'i faith all the time.
Really?
All the time. There's so many engineers. And at one point, the coordinator of the facility I was working at was like, is there a doctor? Are there any doctors in here? And everybody raised their hand. She said, all you engineers, put your hands down. A lot of hands went down. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to be an engineer. The world's got enough of those. Yeah. So I was like, I'll be an artist. But how can I help people by being an artist? And that was my hugest thing. So finally, when I got into college, I just took every class I could, still not wanting to go the artist route because A, where's my money going to come from? And B, where's my money going to come from? So I was like, whatever, I'll just declare theater and see what happens. And then my first semester there, I took an improv class, and then I was offered the chance to audition for the school's touring improv group. And then I wasn't going to do it. And one of my friends was like, well, why not? And I was like, yeah, why not? So I auditioned and I got in, and then I just decided to stick with that.
Okay. So then after that troupe that you auditioned for, you basically went to AMDA.
Yes. I was there like 3.5 years, and then I went to AMDA.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I still was like in denial and needed to see,
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So then as someone who's doing the conservatory route and kind of figuring out where they want to go, then how did you get drawn into the business side and the producing side? Because that seems kind of to be your interest, but more from a practical perspective in that you had to do it.
It's purely practical. I feel like too many artists are so talented, but they're not being put to good use because they don't have the business skills. Right. And essentially we are our own business unless you have a really, really good manager, or somebody who's going to put you through. But I felt like, I feel like I have good ideas, to pat myself on the shoulder. But so I'd rather be the one. I mean, I have no problem working with other people, obviously. Where there's work, there's work. Right. But I want to be able to manifest my own ideas as well. Okay. So the only way I can do that is if I have that business know-how.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's talk about the stuff you're working on. You got Chameleon Comedy. You've got this YouTube show that may be fizzling out.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah.
And then you also mentioned this radical feminist thing. Is that still part of Chameleon Comedy?
No.
All right, so you're part of a radical feminist cult. I'm just picturing because here's the thing, my only experience to radical feminism was I signed up for a women's studies course when I was at Chapman.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know anything about it. Honestly, I signed up thinking, it's like women's studies in film, so it's going to be really eye-opening.
Right.
Maybe I'll meet somebody.
Right. I bet it was really eye-opening, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, I went in, there were, I want to say, 6 or 8 women and me in the class.
Yeah.
So I sit down, and the teacher's like, we're going to be exploring these topics, and very intro-based. It was the first hour. And then she said, okay, now we're going to look at a film of this person's work, and da-da-da-da. And she put on the film, it was, I want to say 1970s. It was a bunch of the voiceover was a bunch of verse about how oppressive men were, and it was a bunch of naked women running around on screen, not sexy,
right?
Not a sexy way at all,
right?
and then the weird part was towards the end, it was a short film, and towards the end, all the women started laying hard-boiled eggs out of their private parts. Yeah. So like that happened,
right?
And I thought to myself, and it was weird. Like at one point, this egg came out, and a full like chick just came out of the broken egg, and I was like, wow, okay, that's wow,
yeah.
You know? And
I'm a woman, and I don't want to see that. So.
I know, and so I signed out of the class.
Right.
I was in that class for one day. And I was like, all right, nice meeting you.
Oh, man. That's why she showed that film the first day. See who would stick.
I'll be over here.
Right.
So that was my one intro to radical feminism study.
Right.
So what is your organization about?
Well, it's not that.
Okay. You don't have hard-boiled eggs coming out of your vagina?
No.
Okay.
No. In fact, I'm not showing that to anybody anytime soon. I just want to put that out there right now.
All right.
Watch out.
I think we just lost a lot of listeners when you said
Oh, man. Just kidding. If that keeps you, you never know. But, it's actually, we love men in my group. So it's called Project Courageous. And it's about empowering women and moves toward the equality of women and men, because regardless of how many people may think, there's still a bit of inequality, you know, between women. I mean, we're still getting paid different. I mean, okay, let me start by saying equality is not the same as sameness. So when a woman says she wants to be treated equally to a man, she wants that equal like regard, you know. I'm finding just even starting to produce, I feel like sometimes I'll have to go through a guy to get another guy's attention. You know, it's really bizarre because I never thought of myself like, oh, because I'm a woman, I should behave this way. Or even as a black person, oh, because, yeah, I'm black. I know I don't sound like it. But like even as a black person, I never thought like, oh, because I'm black, this is how the world would view me. I just go by my view of the world and I am what I am and whatever, you know. Just seeing now, witnessing that difference in treatment is really odd, and it's really frustrating because it's unnecessary and it's counterproductive.
Can you tell me an instance where that's actually been your experience?
I was offering a business suggestion to a man. This
was in the improv group?
This is another situation.
Okay.
Yeah, but this guy...
Can you get... not to... I don't want to pry.
Yeah, if this person is like listening, I feel bad.
No. I don't want to pry either, but give us some idea of the context. Was this a multi-million-dollar deal, or was this like $30 over lunch? Yeah,
no, it was very small. It's like a project with a friend. Okay. And then like over time, I'm realizing that now this person is... I'll offer an idea, and I'm in a room of like there's like 4 of us in the room, and I'll offer an idea, and there's complete silence. And then the first thing I see is like this guy just kind of like looking distressed, you know, like, why am I changing this idea? I'm the producer, mind you. So why am I changing this idea? Why am I taking this quote unquote in another direction where really it was just, okay, if you want to do this, this is what we need to do to make it be professional and the best it can possibly be. So why do we have to do it that way? You know? And so after a while, I'm like, am I speaking Chinese? Is this guy not understanding me? I know I'm being clear. So I have to ask the other guys in the room, am I making any sense? Oh, yeah, you're making sense. I get what you're saying. Then the guy's friend is like, okay, so here's what she's saying is this and that and the other. And the guy's like, okay, well, and I'm like, seriously? That just had to happen? For, you know, I can't just offer a situation and then you can think of it objectively. Where basically one guy in the group acted as the woman whisperer? Is that what happened? Pretty much. That's what happened. Yeah. Okay. And I didn't want to think of it that way, but the more I thought about the incident, because I'm like, there has to be a way where I can communicate more effectively. But I know I'm speaking clear English. I know that when I come up with an idea, I think about it beforehand so that I can present it in the clearest way possible so that there's no misconception. And so, yeah, and I'm like, no, the only reason he wouldn't have understood what I was saying is because he didn't feel like it at the time.
Right.
You know? And so it went through the friend. The friend was like, okay, no, do it like this because that's a good idea or whatever. And he's like, oh, okay, I guess. And I'm like, okay, that happened. So it's so bizarre. But there's, for example, I'll give you an example of just inequality, but that doesn't equal sameness is like maternity leave. And I think every woman can relate to this.
Right.
You have to work up until the time you give birth practically, and then you're unpaid. So you gotta take 2 weeks vacation time and then go back to work. But you have an infant who needs you,
right? And
your body is in no shape to start doing whatever you were, unless you have an office, like a desk job or something like that. I mean, in the UK, for example, in other countries, they'll keep the women in the hospital for a couple of weeks, you know, just for like observation, make sure everything's fine, give her like postnatal care, things like that. Out here, you go to the hospital, give birth, and they kick you out. You know, so if anything goes wrong at home, you know, then
you're fucked.
Yeah, basically. So this is an example of where the situation between a woman and a man is completely different. However, the regard needs to be there. I don't know how to explain it because I feel like what we're doing is
you're doing a good job of explaining it. What is the name of the group though?
It's called Project Courageous.
Project Courageous, and one of the things that you're dealing with women-centric issues.
Yes,
but women empowerment issues, particularly in the political field. It sounds like from that one example.
Well, that's just one example. We're dealing with things like domestic violence and sex trafficking and all kinds of things, but
now you're talking about sex in moving cars. That's
possibly.
Okay.
No, human sex trafficking.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
But these things, it's such a broad, you know, field, I guess, that we're working within. And we want to involve men as well because now I feel personally is a time that for male advocates, you know, we need the guys to be the woman whisperers. Right. To say, guys, this makes sense. You know, why in, for example, Boston is a woman who is denied legal abortion by so I read the story and it made me so mad. This woman was raped and this happens and she became pregnant, could not get an abortion, and the father has legal visiting rights until the kid is 16 years old.
Why couldn't she get an abortion?
Because it's illegal in that state.
In Massachusetts?
Yeah.
How is it illegal to get an abortion in Massachusetts?
Know. That's what I want to know. And even now, there's still conversations about illegalizing abortion in the states that it is legal, you know, and the pro-life and pro-choice thing. I saw something Hillary Clinton said. She said, being pro-choice does not make me pro-abortion. Yeah. You know, and we're not like baby killers. Yeah. This is a matter, I mean, sometimes it is a matter of life and death.
Project Courageous. So what is it? Is it a comedy troupe? Is it a non-for-profit? Is it...
Okay, so it's myself and my friend Claudia Gold, and this is actually her brainchild. She has a website called shameintojoy.com. And it's about, you know, just empowerment, but of anybody, you know, like she says these things like, I was beaten, it's not my shame, things like that, and ways to release your shame and turn it into joy. So we are working on, it's still a work in progress. We're working on probably turning it into a not-for-profit, and it'll be amazing. Like we're using every venue of the arts that we can possibly think of to present these topics, and we'll have talkbacks and things like that. Oh my gosh. We just started this and we're so excited about it. I can't even tell you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you done so far on it?
We did this thing where we had a scarf and we kind of started it off. And what did we say? For example, I am blank, whatever mold, societal mold we're supposed to fit into. Right. I'm supposed to be blank, but I am blank. So for mine, it's like, I'm supposed to be silent, but I'm loud. You know, I get shushed all the time. Or I'm supposed to sit still, but I dance.
Thing, or what is that?
It's a being in rooms where people are quieter than me thing.
Do you go to a lot of libraries?
Not anymore.
Okay.
They won't let me in. I went to a tea house one time. It was an English tea house. And I was like, I probably shouldn't come here anymore. It was very quiet. Me and my friend were the loudest people in there. And the chef was like, every couple seconds, just like, looking over at us. And I'm like, sorry, I'm just loud. I'm an American. You're in America. Why are we so like uptight right now? Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. Oh, and men are all welcome as well, because these are just things. Oh, have you seen that thing on Upworthy about
I've seen the Hillary Clinton thing where she's testifying before Congress?
No, it was about masculinity.
Is it the one with Samuel L. Jackson?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so there's trying to think. They're making a movie about this, and it's these boys who are brought up in a culture that basically the three most harmful words they said that you could say to a boy is be a man, because then they have to try to define that, and they don't know what a man is. We have to teach them, you know, what a man is, but their definition of a man from that age is skewed because it's what they're seeing on TV. They're doing whatever their friends are doing, because being a man is whatever their friends don't make fun of them for.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I just thought that was really interesting, because for women, I think women are so guilty of this. I need a man, blah, 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 but you won't tell them exactly what you're looking for. So
that's right, girlfriend.
Right? So this is just something that I feel like everyone can be involved in. So like if a man were to come, I'm supposed to be, quote unquote, I don't know, insensitive or stoic, but I'm emotional, which is fine. Everybody should be able to express those things.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just what Project Courageous is about. It's for everyone.
All right, let's talk turkey. So basically, you're looking to integrate this as a nonprofit. What research have you already done as far as the nonprofit process?
Very little.
Okay.
I know that I think it costs like $1,200 or something to become a nonprofit, and then we have to do like the contracts and the paperwork and things. We need a board, which we don't have already. She's comfortable with just us two for now.
Okay.
Which I think for a couple more months that'll be great, because we're still solidifying our mission and things like that. But we will need a board soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have some experience in this field because I did a lot of nonprofit research when I was working on a project of my own. I don't know if I told you, I worked on a website right out of film school that I was trying to launch called ShakeShock.com.
Okay, you did tell me about that.
Yeah, and the whole idea was viral videos that were educational. And because they were educational, everyone said, you're not going to make any money, look at nonprofit. So, in that regard, I did look at a lot of nonprofit opportunities. The best route for a startup nonprofit is actually to go through an incubator process. And that's basically where another larger nonprofit will take you under their wing and through whatever evaluation process they go through. And then you give them something, it's somewhere between 5 and 10%, depending on the incubator organization. But whatever donations you get, you would give them the money. They would keep track of it with their bank records. And then they would also get basically a cut. Of whatever funds you raise. Now, that doesn't sound great because they're getting a percentage, but you also have to remember some of these are taking 5, 6, or 9%, and your agent takes 10. So comparatively, it's not that bad.
Right.
On top of that, you get all the legal protections of a nonprofit without actually doling out any of the incorporation charges. One of the groups I looked at is actually a very well-known group called Community Partners.
Okay.
They have like practically their own building in downtown LA. Their website is communitypartners.org. And back in the day, when I was looking at the opportunities for this, they actually have an orientation process. Before you can even apply, you have to go to 2 orientation sessions, which are like day-long orientation sessions, but they're worth it. So I would recommend calling them, signing up for the orientation process, because if nothing else, it's a great educational orientation on the matter. Both of you can attend for free. And on top of that, you can ask any questions you want. And these guys have been around forever, so whatever questions you have, they've gotten them. I think the only restrictions they have is they don't want to do one-offs. Like they don't want to form a nonprofit partnership with someone who's just going to create their nonprofit in order to make one movie.
Oh.
And in Los Angeles, there's a lot of people like that. They want an ongoing mission and an ongoing organization.
Oh, ours would be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what they're looking at. And they're in all fields of nonprofit as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Their only mission statement is to, to protect and serve the greater Los Angeles community and blah, blah, blah. So it's very kind of vague. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, though. I'll look that up.
Yeah. In addition to that, you said you've already done stuff in every artistic venue out there that you can get into. So what does that mean? That's live performances, or are you doing a YouTube and social media outreach as well, or?
For this one?
Yes, for Project Courageous.
Project Courageous, yeah. We are, let's see. We are looking for example, our presentations, let's call them. Uh-huh. So we've done drama. We're looking for musicians. We're looking for dancers, visual artists, graphic designers, anything. Because we feel that art really touches people's souls. And we want to touch people. Their souls, anyway. So, we want to...
Have there been charges filed, Adanna?
Not yet.
Okay.
just want to be clear.
You're loud and you want to touch people. You sound like my ex. Anyway, continue.
Nice. Relatable. I like it. All right. But we want to be able to reach as many people as possible. So some people aren't moved by theater. Some people are less moved by music than something visual. So we want to just incorporate every possible venue to reach people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything upcoming for that, or?
We just workshopped one of our pieces and it worked so well. We thought that we would only have 4 or 5 volunteers. It was the I'm Supposed To's. And everybody had something to say. So we had this scarf and we're like, I'm supposed to, like I told you mine, I'm supposed to be quiet, but I'm loud. And then we passed it around and people were like, even some people were, it was at a party, and even some people were kind of more comical with theirs, but one guy was like, I'm supposed to just have one drink tonight, but I'm drunk, you know, and it's all right. And we just pass it around and just kind of, and that was, really confirming for us to have people really dive into that. And then we have one about, that it's not my shame and things, which is pretty similar. We have a monologue, what do you call it? We have a series of monologues that come together to form a story. I guess they're vignettes that we want to finish writing and put up. So
nice.
I guess check us out we're not on Facebook yet. Check me out on Facebook and I'll be posting. So
do you have a like page or just a friend page?
I have a like page.
Okay. All right.
Adanna Kenlow.
All right.
So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, cool. So what else are you working on that maybe you have questions, or let me give you some sage-like wisdom.
Please.
All right.
Okay, tell me what to do when I'm in a situation and there's just so much opposition, when I'm producing and...
Right. All right, so it's funny because I've actually had an opposite problem. This is side tangent, but I'll go into this real quick. So basically, I was running this young leadership group for a while, and in it was interesting because there were a lot of type A personalities in it, and everyone had an opinion on what we should do, but nobody wanted to do the work, So rather than constantly arguing with people about why we shouldn't do something, I would take a productive stance and say, that's a great idea. You should do that.
Oh.
And they would be like, oh, me? But I can't do that. No, you should do it. You know the territory best. You know what you want to achieve. You should totally do that. And I'd say 4 out of 5 times they fizzled out because they liked the idea, but they didn't feel passionate enough, or maybe they were just too insecure to pursue it on their own. But that 5th time when somebody actually did something and we were able to do it under the banner of this young leadership group, it was actually really surprising and really good and really, really brought some good to the people who took part in it. So from that perspective, I bring that up to basically say, when someone's coming to you and says, oh, why do we need to do that? We don't need to do that. We should just do this. They're not always coming from a place of they're trying to stop you, they're coming from a place of insecurity. Mm-hmm. They're coming from a place of, no, my idea is better. So they're trying to defend their territory, what little control they have. Or just, it could be just a monetary issue. Like the issue you mentioned with the cardstock versus regular printed paper. Maybe he's just worried about costs. So from that perspective, you need to find a way to build up a war chest of resources, if you want, and say, look, we can do this. It'll be cheap or free, and it won't be a major hassle for us. There is an advantage to just going off and doing something without asking permission. Sometimes I have taken an instance where I know I want to do something and I feel it's the best course of action. And rather than simply asking permission or asking for the go-ahead, I'm just going to send a blanket email to everyone saying, hey, I got this great idea. It would be really wonderful for us. Here's the resource. I'm going to pull the trigger on this by 5 p.m. tomorrow or whatever deadline I decide to set. And then wait for someone to stop me. Because that's a more proactive approach. And it gives them an opportunity to respond, but it doesn't give the naysayers an opportunity to derail something, because most naysayers, unless they're coming from a place of insecurity or they have a really strong concern, which may or may not be legitimate, they're going to say they don't want to derail something that's already in motion. So that's one process. Just say, hey, I'm going to do this. Let me know if you have any input. Okay. Or if you want to stop.
Yeah.
So that's one way of doing it. What are some other instances where you've got, the sound thing? Okay. Yeah. So
I didn't even bother with that one.
Yeah. We talked about this a little on Facebook.
Yeah.
Part of a project you're working on. It's a video recorded project. And I listened to it on YouTube. The sound is awful.
Yeah.
The sound is just god awful. Now you had commented that you had talked to the guy and you tried to talk him into doing more professional sound. And
I didn't even bring that up just because of my history. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I have to kind of put together a really good situation within myself to where it's more like, would you like to do this? Here are options, and more like, this is what. This is the option. This awesome, wonderful thing or this terrible thing. This is why this is so awesome and wonderful and better. There's not even a reason we should be dealing with that anymore. Just make it something so undeniably amazing that it's hard to turn down.
Well, not necessarily, because here's one of the differences between how women approach things and how men approach things.
Okay.
Because as a man, I would go to this guy and say, look, you're coming off as an unprofessional video. You're losing viewers because you've got this horrible hissing sound, and if you've listened to past episodes of the Producers Lounge, you should know that I'm the last person who should be complaining about sound. However, bottom line is, your sound is important.
Yeah.
It is basically the fourth wall of your project. And you need not only dynamic video and dynamic content, but also dynamic sound design. That means clear sound where you can hear people, and if you have the time and resources, sound effects to punch up something, whether it's something interesting like a low-level ambiance, whether it's an interesting piece of music, or whether it's like, some kind of like soundboard for comedy effect. But the bottom line is you need to start with clear sound, and if you don't I would just fucking say to this guy, look, the fact that we don't have clear sound is coming off as unprofessional, and we're not going to build our subscription base and our viewer base and get sponsorship dollars via those view counts if we don't have clear sound. That's one of the issues that I would bring up.
I say this with a woman whisperer in the room.
I would just flat out say it. Look, dude, you know what? You think it's good? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I have not been able to figure out how to get the best sound out of my own system, which is why I haven't submitted it to iTunes yet. Because I want to it's all about the launch. And I want to be able to get 5,000 to 10,000 downloads on the first day rather than 2.
Right.
Because your sound, especially on the web, especially when you have low resources, your sound is one of the few things you can have a strong effect on, and then will result in a higher view count and then more things down the road from that view count. And I mean, this system here, it's not the best system, but I got all of my sound equipment, like everything in that briefcase there, for $200.
Wow.
At Radio Shack.
Wow.
So
that's fantastic.
There you go. I mean, it's not a lot, and I understand for some people $200 is a lot.
Right.
I have one friend, Alicia. I was talking with her about my organizational structure, and I have this chart that every time I've got an idea, I put it in the chart based on where it qualifies. And the breakdown is, you remember those like box charts in like middle school?
Oh, like the gene chart or whatever?
Yeah. So it's like it would be like less work, less money. No, sorry. Okay, less money, less organization. Less money, more organization. More money, less organization. More money, more organization.
Okay.
And I would put it in those 4 phases.
Okay.
So, like, I would tell her about this, and I would say, what counts as more money for you? And, like, anything above $5 would be more for her.
Okay.
But for me, like, $200, I could drop $200 on some sound equipment. That's why it's less versus more. It's all about what is your threshold for and your tolerance, basically. Like, for me also, the weekends are my main time to work on other stuff.
Yeah.
So if something happens where I need to work on it outside of a weekend, that qualifies as more for me. And as a result, it goes into phase 2.
Okay.
And a lot of people, like nowadays, when somebody comes up to me with a suggestion, sometimes I'll do that's a great idea. You should do that.
Right.
And
see how long it lasts.
Yeah. And some other times, if this is a suggestion where they just want me to do it and they just want the feedback, I would say that's a really good idea, but that's more of a phase 2 idea or a phase 3 idea, and then I tell them about my organizational chart and they feel, relatively good that it was a good idea, but it's not ready yet for me to work on it. So as far as like phase 1 of your stuff that you're working on, sound is key.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And you can't have, I hate to say this also, you can't have a music bed under an entire 10-minute video.
Oh, what do you mean a music bed?
Like okay, one of the videos I watched, there's one music song under the entire thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I don't know why that decision was made, if it was a practical or a creative decision, but it was just not good, and funny enough, I actually was in film school one day at USC, and I was talking with our sound professor, Kenny Hall, brilliant guy. He was like the music guy and music editor on like The Mummy and all these big Hollywood franchises. And we were talking about music design, and I flat out asked him, is there ever an instance where you can have music under an entire clip? And he said, yeah, a music video. That's it,
Wow.
So that's, because really, when you have music under an entire clip, A, it can get boring. B, it distracts from the content of the actual video. And that's really a dilemma that has to be resolved. So.
Okay. That I did not know.
Yeah. So.
Cool.
And also, like, again, I know it's a budget thing. I'm guessing this guy doesn't want to spend a lot of money, but you can do like some really cool stuff. Just pay $50 to somebody who knows Adobe After Effects. Find a student and say, hey, I'll give you $25 or $50 or whatever. Design a cool logo for me. And that can add a ton of production value, especially with the advancement of that. And you give a kid $50, he'll spend an entire week on it.
Yeah.
This was also a weird thing. Why is it you had 3 black people talking in front of a black background?
Because that is what was available at the time. Okay. And that's one of those things that I don't see why we have to change it. So I was just like, I'm at a point where I have this long list of things that I want to change, but I have to like go through a brick wall to get to any results. So
well, as far as the black background, I understand that's what was available. However,
I know, yeah.
If you're doing a kind of semi-unprofessional / amateur approach, you also need to realize if you don't have backlighting to give kind of a halo effect to someone, especially a black person or anyone with black hair for that matter, such as I have black hair, the whole back of my head is just going to fade into the background.
Yeah, it's invisible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And honestly, you're a relatively light-skinned black person, but a dark-skinned black person, all I'd see is teeth. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree 100%. So I have the option of moving the show to a friend's house. She has a nice living room, things like that. So I got to go in and test things out.
Right.
I'm just at the point now where it's I don't know if we're going to get that far.
Right.
So
let's use this though as a learning exercise because I would like to talk about some of the other things on your list.
Okay.
And just see how we could overcome them.
Okay.
What are some of the other things?
Okay. Okay. So with
Take
this
your time to think.
Okay. Here I go. Okay. So we have the sound. We have the background. We have basically the whole situation, the whole setting of the show. We would like ideally a 3-camera setup where we can have the master and then we can have close-ups and things like that. We gotta pay our camera guy, and he's also done a couple of sound effects and visual effects, which were awesome. He's getting his residency to go to Cal State Long Beach, and I'm like, guys, we gotta work to keep this guy because pretty soon he's gonna be on to bigger, better things. So,
well, okay, let's take one at a time.
Okay.
Number 1, the 3-camera setup. You're shooting in HD, I assume?
Yes.
Who's providing the camera?
Our camera guy.
All right. So there are very cheap HD cameras out there that you can get without lenses. I mean, not detailed lenses, but of course you'd have your master shot and then you'd have your 2 supporting cameras. And you can run those through a router, which can also be acquired for a low price. And you can run those into a program in a laptop. There are several programs out there. What I think might work well for you, because not only does it allow you to record, but it also allows you to do live streaming events if you decide to advance to that in the future. There's a website called Ustream. Ustream.
Right.
And Ustream will basically allow you to filter everything into the computer and do multi-camera switching, as well as some primitive graphics. I believe they also have some sound effects as well, but I'm not entirely sure about that one. Okay. But it will require some experimenting in order to learn about it.
Okay.
So, and I would also recommend have you discussed the idea of multi-camera routers and multi-camera setups with your camera guy?
We mentioned it. We have 2 cameras. We have his camera and we have a friend's camera. Okay. We need a 3rd camera.
Right.
And basically, it was just kind of something we said, and then it was well, it's going to cost too much, or this, that, or the other. You know what I mean?
Your camera guy said this?
No, our camera guy, the guy whose project it is.
Well, tell Douchey McDouchington that Ustream is free.
Okay.
So you can sign up through Ustream. There is an advanced premium account, but you don't need to sign up for it unless you're going to go to some ridiculous high bandwidth level or something.
Okay.
So there's that.
Okay.
So, and also on top of that, there's creative ways to get around the 3rd camera issue. Let's say you get a cheap camera with a really poor lens. Let's say you buy something bargain basement at a pawn shop for $200 or whatever, or less. You can use that and put a black and white filter or something else creative on it on that camera, so it's used more for artistic shots or wide shots or
That's
what have you. In addition, are you familiar with something called a jib arm?
Yes.
So yeah, you can jerry rig a jib arm from like shit you buy at Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, have that cheap one on a jib arm just moving up and down and forward and backward and just kind of make it a motion camera, even though the quality isn't that great.
Mm-hmm.
It still provides a little dynamic ability to it. You can buy one pretty cheap. I mean, honestly, if you put up something on Craigslist or the new one is like Backpage.com.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's a new thing. And there are a lot of things on there. It's still growing, so I would say hit up both if you could. The thing is with Backpage, you do have to pay, I think, for most of the ads, but not all.
Okay.
Let's see. And of course, there's like the usual like Mandy.com or like discussion boards.
Okay.
Okay, so that's one way to get around the whole like lack of camera resources, and then the issue of paying your cameraman. That is certainly important. Do you know what kind of rate he's looking for?
I don't.
Where are you shooting, and where is he coming from?
We're shooting in Downey. He's coming from Long Beach, which is like he's taking the bus, which is like an hour.
Oh, he's taking the bus with expensive camera equipment.
Well, he's got like a camera and a tripod that he carries with him.
Gotcha.
It's a small camera.
Okay.
Fold out, whatever tripod.
Gotcha. So it's not a Red, obviously.
No.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. But I imagine like he's getting his residency, so he also wants he wants to get a car eventually too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In Southern California.
Yeah.
So as far as rate, start out by just, offering to pay bus fare, something.
Yeah.
But, and then you can grow, because eventually he's going to get to a point where there's going to be some burnout for him.
Yeah.
And then you will want to move on to somebody else. And I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I'm thinking like 6 months down the road.
Right. For sure.
Yeah. Let's see. What are some of the other things?
Oh yeah, the whole location thing. Yeah, I just wanted to make it sellable, so that in season 2 we can have some money and we can start paying people and getting better resources and things like that. So it's just so much that goes into that.
Have you enabled? I didn't see this at the time I viewed it, but have you enabled like Google video ads on the videos?
No, not yet. I was not even thinking of doing that. I was like, I could do that, but then I don't know. Maybe I should just do that.
Here's the thing. It's now I haven't dealt a lot with Google video ads because I don't have a lot of video content on YouTube. But yeah, go ahead and enable it. It's going to be a trial and error process. Read as much as you can. There's got to be a way to limit the ads on Google video ads so that you get these people or you have these people, and you can say like, what are your expected demographics, as far as like African American, male, this amount of age and income brackets and blah, blah, blah. So, what is the idea behind the talk show?
So his idea basically is we'll just have different topics, we'll just discuss. It's just a discussion show. It's kind of like what is that show? Kind of like Comics Unleashed is my take, but kind of a more urban feel. So he has like what the hell moments where, for example, he discussed a topic where he walked into like a baker's shoe store and it said it was like a blowout sale, going out of business sale. And then under that it said now hiring. So he was like, what, do I have to put in my 2 weeks notice the same day that I get hired or something? Just different topics like that.
Right.
We discussed the Sharkeisha incident from World Star Hip Hop. This woman, there's a video of these two black girls talking. All of a sudden, one of them just like whaps the other one in the face, like in the side of the head. She falls down. Then she's like punching her and kicking her in the face and everything. And we're like, what the heck is going on? So like that, we had an episode where we talked about Sharkeisha.
Okay.
And we have like throwback segments where we talk about black cinema or Power Rangers, shows that we watched as kids or whatever.
Right.
Things like that. Just kind of a discussion show. And then we invite people to send us stuff that they want us to talk about.
Via like Twitter and stuff? Or?
We do not have a Twitter. The reason we don't have a Twitter is that I do not want to manage it, because I have plenty of Twitter accounts and Facebook pages that I'm managing. And I'm like, if you want a Twitter account, which you need, then you need to manage it.
All right. Well, here's something where I can give you a little assistance on. How are you managing your social media accounts?
I use Hootsuite, which is remote posting and things like that.
Right.
And then every day, like 2 or 3 times a day, I go and I check up on them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool. You're using Hootsuite, which is very important because you're doing interactive engaging. Mm-hmm. I use an app called, not an app, but yeah, it's bufferapp.com.
I'm gonna look it up. Bufferapp.com.
The problem with Buffer App, though, is it doesn't allow engagement. Like, it doesn't tell me what people are tweeting or messaging at me. It only only allows me to post to multiple accounts at a time.
Okay.
So that's something that you may want to keep in your back pocket for future accounts where you are pushing and not accepting.
Okay.
Yeah. How many accounts do you have?
Okay, so I did a feature film this past summer.
Uh-huh.
So,
and what did you do on the feature film?
Oh, okay. I produced it.
Yay!
And I did a small role in it.
Okay. That is burying the lead. Tell me about this feature film.
Okay, so it's called Roller Coaster. Okay. It's about it's like a fictionalization of the director's actual life, where he has a daughter with Down syndrome, and it's about her and how, how can I say, how basically someone with special needs is not something that happens to you. Uh-huh. These are people, they're real people, and just like anybody else, except we just have to deal with people on a case-by-case basis. So someone with special needs is somebody that their case is something that people are a little less educated about, but it's all right. And so it's this woman kind of gets landed with this girl with special needs, and it kind of throws her life off course and things, and her fiance leaves her, but she realizes that she wasn't happy before. Mm-hmm. She was living life for someone else. Her parents' expectations, or the expectations of X, Y, and Z person. And she got landed with this girl with special needs, and suddenly something else is important to her. Mm-hmm. She kind of discovers who she is and what makes her happy, and she's happier with this girl, mm-hmm. And so, yeah. And I play a social worker in that film. Yeah. And that was another really difficult one to produce, because I'm telling you, women are supposed to be the emotional ones. I've dealt with some really emotional men in this business. It's like childlike tantrums almost at times, mm-hmm. It's like, okay, well, you need to do this, and it's all of a sudden like the whole world is crashing down. Right. Like for this film, there was a location that we were supposed to shoot at, and this woman, the lead, mm-hmm. is supposed to have the best of everything. Mm-hmm. Her parents brought her up as a princess. She mm-hmm. has the best of everything in the world. Okay. And so this restaurant that her and her fiance are dining at, when I go and see the location, it's like a sushi restaurant, but it's not even a nice one. It's just like, it's not even as nice as Kabuki. It's like just some random sushi diner almost. And we left, and I was like, we cannot shoot here. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? I already did this. The guy said yes. And I was like, the guy said yes, but in your script, I'm going by your script. You say we are at a nice fancy restaurant, mm-hmm. not some dark, $5 sushi place with flower pattern upholstery on the booths and posters made out of regular paper and sheet protectors that say special $5 today. You said nice restaurant. So after that argument and not talking to this guy for 2 days, we ended up at this really nice place in Naples, in Long Beach. So I mean, it happened, you know what I mean? But geez Louise.
How did you get approached to do this feature film?
I had a friend of mine brought me on as a PA on one of his previous films. Okay. And then he was like, oh, you're an actress, I'll throw you in there. So I had one line in that. Okay. And then we stayed in contact, and he was like, let's just like, you know, stay, like be accountability partners or whatever. We'll keep each other artistic. And I was like, sweet. And then he's like, I got this film coming up. You can produce it. And I was like, sweet. So I produced it. I haven't talked to the guy in like 4 months because he stressed me out really bad.
Oh, God.
But our premiere is coming up, and I'm looking forward to that. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Where's the premiere at?
It's going to be at the Art Theater in Long Beach.
Oh, okay, cool. Have you gotten distribution yet, or?
You know, I kind of stepped back because it's one of those things where there's still like 3 projects that he's done in the past that have not been finished. And I'm like, I can't do this, you know, and it's not me. I'm the producer, but it's like, there's only so much that I can do, you know, if the person is not like, just clearly not going to do what I'm saying, then it's like, you know.
You're always going to have people who are not going to do what you say.
Yeah.
You have to find a way around that. I mean, that's the thing. When honestly, when I go into that, like, if he had approached me about that job, can I ask, was it paying?
No, it didn't pay.
Well, then I would have turned him down. Yeah.
I wanted the experience, so yeah.
Did you have any kind of legal agreement where, like, you got a percentage of the film as equity or back-end points or anything?
Yeah, we had those boilerplate contracts, and it was like after distribution, after it's sold, and we get like X amount. I don't remember exactly the number, honestly. The actors got 100 a day, and then I don't remember what my... Oh, yeah, it was one of those. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I worked on one film where, like, the executive producer signed this agreement with all of, you know, basically told the actors, you will get deferred pay, you know, based on distribution. And then he turned around when they got distribution and used a separate document that they had signed and said, guess what? I don't owe you a dime.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because written contract outrules verbal contract.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And honestly, if any of those actors had decided to sue him, I would have testified on the actor's behalf. But yeah. It's bullshit, in my opinion. So.
Yeah. These were written agreements that we had.
Okay.
So we're still waiting for distribution and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha.
Don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm not trying to think about it anymore.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. He's got 3 films that have not finished, that are not finished yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to pose this as an option. You might not want to pursue it.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of work. But here's what I would propose to you as an option.
Okay.
These 3 or 4 films, let's assume he finishes them. Let's assume he signs distribution and negotiation rights to you and gives you also power of attorney to sign and finish and sign an agreement on his behalf. You can then go to a film market, whether it's AFM in Santa Monica or something more exotic, such as Cannes or MIPCOM or Toronto or Hong Kong, which is coming up. I'm going to Hong Kong, actually, in March. And you can set up meetings with people saying, I have 3 or 4 finished films in the bank, and I'd like to negotiate distribution. That gives you power, that gives you leverage, that gives you contacts, because you're going to be making contacts. And on top of that, here's the real kicker. If you travel during a film market, every single expense related to that trip is tax deductible.
Oh, nice.
Yes, because it's a work-related expense.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool.
And you had to spend that money for your business, right?
Exactly.
Cool. So did you have to spend that money on those Mai Tais on the beach?
Right.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Ask me how business was. Great. Awesome. Yeah. Write it off. So that's one scenario. Okay.
So, but if you don't ever want to deal with this guy again, I completely understand.
Yeah, that was really stressful. Yeah. But that is something to consider.
Yeah. So, and who's to say whether those extra 2 days were business or pleasure when you lounged around on the beach?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So anyway, so that's that.
Yeah. Wheels are turning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's funny, too, because, like, okay, now I'm just off on a tangent, but it's funny because, like, there's so many buyers at these film markets who were just like, hey, I own a small TV company in Mongolia. I'll pay you like anywhere from $200 to $5,000 for TV distribution rights in Mongolia.
Wow.
So, but yeah,
why not?
It's literally that ridiculous. Some people go literally territory by territory. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't put my foot there because then it'll show up on the mics.
Oh.
Anyway, so thoughts, feelings, questions, comments, concerns.
None. That's cool. That's some good information. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, as an actress and performer, you might not want to go that route.
I feel like, it's funny. Like recently, I'm thinking, dude, I gotta like focus in, you know, because I'm doing like I have 4 projects, and I'm probably gonna have to drop 1 or something. I don't know. I'm deciding what to do. I know, right? I'm deciding exactly what to do.
Yeah.
But then as a performer, because I perform too, but I feel like having the skills and the know-how and the connections as a producer is invaluable as a performer. Because if nobody's hiring me, I can hire myself.
There you go.
You know? So, yeah. I feel like that goes hand in hand. So many performers, like I was saying earlier, are so good, but they're not performing because nobody is hiring them. People will say, I'm having a dry spell because there's no work. There's freaking work. There's work everywhere all the time. And if it's not finding you and you're not finding it, then make some.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that in the internet world now, you see a dearth of people who are becoming producers, content creators, actors, and so on. You're seeing that with just a lot of people making their own shit. You saw Chris Hardwick with Nerdist. He started out with a fucking podcast and a stand-up comedy career, and now he's got like an empire.
Yeah.
You see that with Felicia Day, who she partnered up with Kim Evey, who was on a previous podcast episode, and they created the Guild, and they got sponsorship, and it turned out like, hey, it's like at the time it was the most successful web series ever.
Yeah.
So and it was especially successful for them because they owned their content.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's just a question of like creating your own shit, and you have the ability to do that because you have the flexibility, and you can. I can't speak.
It's all good.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The question is sitting down and writing it.
Yeah.
The big wave now is like networks. Or online networks, because you've got on YouTube, you've got like Geek and Sundry, you've got all these partnerships on YouTube. And then on the podcast space, you have Feral Audio, Nerdist, the guy Bruno Mars, not Bruno Mars, Roman Mars.
Okay.
I don't know, some guy, he with the last name Mars.
Okay.
He has this podcast called 99% Invisible, and he just created a new podcast network. On top of that, all the NPR podcasts. Oh, yeah. They're a huge juggernaut online.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, led by Ira Glass of This American Life. So. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my spiel.
What about, I had a question about for-profit. I couldn't remember exactly what my whole question was, but when you go like become a for-profit organization, my group Chameleon Comedy tried to do that before. We did it for like a year, but then I guess we had to renew it or something like that, and we never did or something, which is weird because maybe we only bought like a business license for a year or got a DBA for a year or something like that. Okay. I wasn't quite sure how that worked. But now we're trying to get checks made out to Chameleon Comedy. If somebody writes us a check, we don't want to be, put my name, Adanna Kenlow, on it, and then put cash, Yeah. So
that is the thing. Like I've done that where I've had to get a DBA license, and you have to go through all that. You have to file with the state, do this and that, and they do expire. So that might have been the issue. But as far as I don't have enough knowledge about creating a for-profit legal entity, whether it's an LLC or what have you. I will say, though, that there are a couple of resources out there for you in for-profit. One is California Lawyers for the Arts. I have done work for them in that I taught some workshops for them, and I've dealt with them, and they seem to be pretty good and well organized. So you can contact them for free legal advice or referrals. So yeah, that's all I can say on for-profit stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, but I know it's like I need to go and pick somebody's brain because I know nothing about this. I just know, okay, get a DBA, but I don't know what, there's all this legal stuff that you have to say a certain way or do a certain way. And I'm just like, I don't know, here's my money so I can have some paperwork.
I mean, the funny thing is most of these forms are just boilerplate forms.
Yeah.
Setting up an LLC or an S-Corp, it's the same thing all the time. It's the additional follow-up taxes because you have to pay taxes on that every year.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes there's a set minimum of taxes that you have to pay, which is why an accountant is also really important to know. So,
Yeah. Things to think about. Yeah.
That being said, it's not impossible. You just need to read more.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming, Adanna.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. And that's all, folks. Many thanks to my guest, Adanna Kenlow, for a terrific interview. You can also find out more about chameleon comedy and the topics we discussed by visiting the links for this episode on our website. Our music this week is Menil Mont by Lac de Swing. Please check out their website at freemusicarchive.org. We're starting to grow our Producers Lounge community, so if you'd like to submit either jazz music or banner photos for an episode, post a link on our Facebook page. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Producers Lounge. Remember, you show your support for films by not downloading them, you show your support on Hulu by clicking on the commercials, and you show your support for podcasts by liking and commenting. And you can always check out our website, www.theproducersloungepodcast.com. Thank you again. I'm your host, Richard Tucci. Join us next week for more cocktails and questions, and until then, keep producing dreams.